Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on episode 163 and we are doing a daily color. Today is this heart that is going to be colored with the Castle Arts Soft Touch pencils. It is a inverse of yesterday's coloring of the Castle Arts gold pencils. I did go off for the very end, which was smoothing out the lighter pink ombre of the heart, and I will say that I grabbed Pink Bloom 186. This barrel does not reflect the color of it. It is actually this light pink, so you can see that it looks way darker if you look at the barrel. So I grabbed the soft touch pencils today, and that one, oops, I bumped my thing. All right, color matching. I did discover that the color palette between the soft touch and the gold is very similar. There are just a couple of differences. The Castle Arts Gold are on the left, all the way down the line there, and the right are the colors that I was the closest to be able to get to the gold. And the right off the bat, 186 doesn't exist in the soft touch. I just need a pink that is light enough for blending it out. So I will be doing 82 all the way to the edge, just like I did with the gold. And then I have the 20 here, which is light flesh. It is the lightest I can get. I brought over 186 from the gold, and I might smooth it out with that, especially if I'm afraid this light flesh is going to change the color tones too much. Everything else was a direct match until we hit I did the water droplets on my own. I used a light teal turquoise and then a medium. And 185 doesn't exist, so I went to the next closest one, which is 106. And I think the only difference between the two is that 106 with Castle Art Soft Touch says jade green, and 185 is light jade green. And again, light jade green does not exist with the soft touch. And then at the very end here, number 62 in the soft touch is like olive, a light olive. So I just went to the next darkest one. It has a slight different tone than 62 in the gold, but it will work in a pinch. So welcome everybody. If you're new, I color every day for about 45 minutes, except Sunday when I do the weekly color, and I will do an extra day of coloring if I need to finish something off. And welcome back if you are returning. I am going to start with green. I think that's what I did yesterday. So let's grab our greens. Again, the barrels you're going to find just do not match. That seems to be a theme with these the Castle Arts pencils. All right, 59 is the lightest, 55 the middle one, and 63 is the darkest. And I'm going to start with the darkest. I did not sharpen these. This particular set is my used set. I actually have a much more complete set with the pencils not used very much. And then I ended up buying a lot that I actually bought for the Speer Farbens that were included. And these came with it. So I will be using these up. it will be quite some time before I hit the crossroads of running out of some pencils and deciding if I'm going to worry about replacing them. And I've already come to the conclusion, with as many sets that I own, as I use these up. I was just looking at these two swirls, making sure that these were green swirls, and they are. So I have amassed enough pencils to probably not run out anytime soon. I'm sure there will be a time where I will start hoarding sets, depending on where I end up going with my channel and how often I want to rotate through all of my sets. I actually, because I do a lot of research, I don't really buy sets that I won't use or that I completely dislike. I just skip those. So I find that every single pencil set, except one, is in the I like it category. But again, I pretty much buy pencils that seem to fit criteria that I know I will like or not like. I also think as you get more experienced with pencils, you at some point get to where you can make any decent pencil work. So then your criteria for deciding, like which is my favorite, what do I like about them, what do I not like about a pencil that I don't like, there really isn't a pencil that I absolutely do not like or can't stand. I even had one for a short time, and that was the Crayola 100. And when I did the detailed walkthrough of them, I just had a really tough time. I found them very unpleasant to work with. I did use them, I think 100% on my Nina Bristol Vellum, the smooth side, and then started coloring in this book. Decided I was going to, on the Circle Flowers page, which has 30 flowers to color, that I actually would have to, if I wanted to use up every set of pencils that I own, I needed to include the Crayola. So I did. And the Crayolas actually did really well on this paper. Very surprising, completely unexpected. Oops, that is the lightest color. So I'm going to the middle tone, Prussian Green 55. So there is a thing in the gaming world. My husband and I have been computer gamers, forever. I was the one who bought our first computer. I bought a 386 Windows computer way, way back in the day. And that computer taught me a lot, and I made a lot of money. I did a bunch of computer graphics things on the side with it. I learned how to build computers from somebody at work. I worked in an aerospace company, and I was in the engineering department. So I learned how to build our computers for the company. So I started building computers for people. And so I don't even know where this is going. Craziness. Pardon me. I really don't know what I was talking about. Isn't that funny? We just had a huge rainstorm. I got stuck in the rainstorm. Our mail center is 1.2 miles away, and I needed to get my 4th of July cards mailed out. That's what episode 161 is. If you are interested in seeing my first look at the Holtz Distress pencils, the watercolor pencils. So I got stranded, and then now, so I'm getting a little bit of a late start doing this. I was drenched. Luckily, it's a warm climate, drenching. Okay, so now I remember what I was talking about. Okay, back to computers. Computer gaming. We have been computer gamers forever. You know, we would even meet up with people. You bring your computer, you bring your monitor, you set up. We would do a network, and we would play things like Age of Empires and the like. Those were fun times. So nowadays, we play whatever the kind of current new release of a game is. We have likely played every release of that game. And while we're playing it, we watch YouTube videos of how the games are doing, and you know, if there's bugs, and then how to play the different class race combinations. And then there's the rating system. And so they have these lists called tier lists, and I am working on a tier list with my collection of pencils and trying to decide the ranking of them. And I'm going to start doing different rankings. The very first ranking is very simple. Which pencils do I like the best and why? And it's not like it's a single number where you only get one number one, one number two. It's not like that. It is pitting them against each other and putting them in groupings, kind of like you have a class of students, and you have people who get A's, people who get B's, C's, and D's. And literally, I do not have any pencils that I have bought that I would grade lower than a C. And I only have two that I think are C, which is, you know, acceptable. You know, they will do the job, but that's it. So anyhow, expect to see that coming. I found an online tier creator free app thing. So I will be doing that. I thought that would be fun to... I've used these pencils enough, every single set. I will do the professional pencils separate from the budget pencils, because they're just a completely different thing. And I will... The mid-range, like right now I'm using the Castle Arts. Pricing of these has gone up, so they are no longer what I would consider a truly budget pencil. They are in the $40 and up range, and there are so many budget pencils you can get for under $30 that I put these more in they're in the low end of the mid-tier. I think I forgot the middle greens down here. So for a true mid-tier is like the Erogeton and the Black Widow type of pricing. Black Widow, I'm happy that I found a really good price used for the ones that I have, because they will add up. If you add up all of the sets that make up the whole, there's 180 pencils, you're going to be spending quite a bit of dough. But I did get such a good deal that I could easily buy the last two sets, get the remaining... I think it's a 48 and a 36 set is what I am missing, and that would complete the set. So I am excited to do a tier list and then figure out some different criteria for doing some rankings of supplies, paper, pencils. But honestly, every pencil set that I have bought has actually impressed me more when I got them. Even the one set that came used in the box, and the box was just the tin was open and the box was filled with pencils. And I thought, oh my gosh, these are going to just be non-usable. And I do have some ones that they are cracked all the way down, but I can still get them sharpened and I can still use them. I am switching to the blues. I have 3 of them. Looking at my list, the blues are the exact same numbers from the gold numbering system to this soft touch system. So 48, 100, and 45 from light to dark. I'm going to start with the dark. The barrel just absolutely does not match. It's called Indigo Light, but look at this color. Does that look like indigo light to you? It does not look very light to me. And even the gold also was called Indigo Light. I forgot to do all the little bud tips green. I'll have to remember that. So yeah, I guess I just really like pencils. I like the feel. You know, there's definitely is it a quiet pencil? Is it a slightly noisy pencil? I don't have any that are terribly scratchy. I have some chalkier ones. Like, I would say that the Crayolas are quite on the chalky side. A little on the noisy side, but I don't know if I would call, you know, some people use the term scratchy. And I expect a scratchy pencil to be worse than any of them that I own. And so I think that is because there are so many good pencils out there in the world. I enjoy a slow medium. I'm not a speedy crafter at all. I don't even care to be fast. I enjoy my time crafting greatly. So the fact that I know there's people who will start with pencils, or maybe they try pencils and they end up with pastels. To me, pastels are messy. I don't like messy. I don't like the dust that they cause. I just like a nice, simple, clean, crafty supply. So in other words, I love pencils. All of them. And there haven't been any that I purchased that I expected more. I guess maybe I was not impressed, I would say, with Arteza, I guess. I had an expectation, and they didn't meet that expectation. The Artex pencils work really well, but I find their barrels frustrating because they're just so far off color-wise. So those are the kinds of issues I deal with. But yet, my pencils still all work. And I'm trying to decide if there is one to rule them all. Is there really and truly, of the budget sets that I have, one that like ticks all the boxes for me? And I think there could be. So I need to go review what I've done, do some notes collecting and writing and thinking, okay, I think I've got all of the dark in. Switching to, so that was Indigo Light. The middle tone is Cerulean Blue 100. Yep. I just feel very fortunate that I ended up with the professional sets first, because I would never pay that kind of money today. Our income is very limited. And even if I try to make money from my crafting that I do to support, it's always supported itself. But when we didn't have a house and we traveled full time, finances were just a lot easier to manage than they are currently. But we love our home, and I would never trade it for anything. It's amazing the simple things of home that you forget. You take them for granted, and then you're on the road for years, and you forget how quiet a home is. I have to say, you guys can't see the other heart, but I can see the other heart. And I have read this before where people have said that these soft touch are more on the brighter, softer side. They are called soft touch. And they actually, I even just watched somebody did a video, and I subscribed to them, and they did a purchases that they regret. And they regret buying the castle arts because of the dust. And I am using these. And I don't get, now I do get some dust with the golds, but not with the soft touch. I find them soft. I find them vibrant, pleasant. I don't hear a lot of anything, a little bit. They're a tiny bit noisy, but in this book, they're pretty darn quiet. Now I've got to put a little bright on the pom-poms. So yeah, I was surprised that this person and the other set that they did not like, which I've also seen quite a few people just not like them, and that's the Holbeins. Okay, I'm going to the light cobalt turquoise 48, exact same as the colors used for the golds. And I'm purposely trying to leave a little bit of white here and there on the ends of these. So yeah, I have read more dislikes about Holbein. And they are very cost prohibitive, but I have carefully cultivated a small set that do have the blending that I like to do. I bought them specifically in certain color combos. I have 35 of them, and I like them just fine. I thought for sure I would dislike them greatly. People say they don't blend well, or as they would expect them to. That they're soft, but I still like them. They are a little messy. They are along the lines of the Prismacolors as far as messiness goes and crumbs and such. All right, so I think I have filled all the flowers, and I am going to grab that middle green really quick so that I can go through. I will sharpen this. I have posted a poll. I put it up yesterday or today. I can't remember now. The whole getting rained on thing messed me up, but I think I did it yesterday. So the last poll for choosing the pencil set that I will use when I color the library page that you all voted for in Romantic Country. So I'm excited to get going on the Daily Color Big Edition so that I will be swapping back and forth between the Daily Color in these small Victories versus the Daily Color Big, which will be a large book. I will be coloring the image over time. It'll probably be, 45 minutes to an hour for each session, and who knows how many it will take to get that page colored in. I'm not in any giant hurry, just like I'm not in a hurry to finish this book. I'm just marching through a little bit every day, learning a lot, enjoying myself. Okay, I am now ready to, I can do the aqua, the little water droplets. That should be fast because I am prepared. The two colors for that, again, the Jade Green 106 on the gold set is Jade Green Light. And then Phthalo Turquoise 102. And the 102, if you look really close here, 102 is just a hair lighter than the gold 102, and 106 is a hair darker than 185. But other than that, everybody's pretty close. And I'm going to start with the dark. Which is the one that, there we go. The barrels of these are very close to each other, but the darker one is a tiny bit darker. So the little balls at the tops of this heart and the flowers, I will be doing a metallic. It'll be a glitter. Not sure if it'll be Sparkle Pop. I only picked Sparkle Pop because I don't have very many of them and they just sit right there in my drawer right next to me. Easy access. I do really like how they go down. They're a really smooth, easy to use pen. Very reliable. All right, now we're on to pinks. And we are only at 28 minutes. I am going to skip the very lightest color, which is either going to be the gold in that pink bloom color, or I will decide to use Flesh Light, but I'm afraid that that's going to be too peach. Okay, so here's the colors. Going from light to dark, 82 Azalea Pink, Grenadine 080, Scarlet Red 22, and Magenta 86. And the Scarlet Red and the Grenadine actually have the correct tone of ends, unlike the gold. I am going to start. Again, I want to do soft, light layers so that I don't get any harsh lines. Starting with the magenta in the center. we'll see how easy these are to keep a nice consistent light tone without any harsh lines at all. I thought the gold did a great job. I did not sharpen this pencil. It is this sharp on its own from whoever used it last. Again, it's a shorter pencil, so its previous owner wore it down this far. I did not. Okay, I am going to so far the only little bit, that right there, I somehow got too much pigment there. Switching to Scarlet Red 22. My goodness, it's so quiet. You can hear a pin drop. All right, I'm going to switch now from Scarlet Red to Grenadine 80. Looks like it needs a sharpen. These are a matte finish just like the Castle Arts Gold. They are a very light wood, so the pencils feel very light in your hand. I think their diameter is a little bit narrower than some pencils. They don't feel chunky at all. They kind of feel nice and stealthy and smooth. I am getting no crumbs. And because I was doing light layers yesterday, I didn't encounter crumbs with the golds until I was doing the final burnishing step. And it was not that bad. get out a little further on this part of the heart, and then I will switch to the lightest color for the base. Okay, so the lightest color for the base is Azalea Pink 82. I do think that this particular Azalea Pink is a slightly lighter tone than the Castle Arts gold version of Azalea Pink, but they're pretty close. So I do have one possible embellishing step that I want to try. When I do it, it will be after all of these have been colored. The two small hearts, I believe I will be able to get colored tomorrow. They will not match. I didn't have a good, you know, set of two pencil sets like I did for these two hearts. And I believe that the soft touch should have been done on a little heart, and I switched things around a little bit to suit my little head-to-head competition here between the two. So it is going to be the Color 120 Black Barrels, and then the Derwent Drawing. So one of the two small hearts will look very different than the others. I won't try to make the colors be a muted palette, because that is not what they are meant to be, and they are a beautiful, vibrant pencil, so I will be picking bright colors. So that all will be tomorrow. Then after I finish that bit, I can start playing with my embellishing strategy, which I will do on my own, and then I will maybe save a little bit of it to do a demo. Okay, just like yesterday, I feel like now I want to go in starting at the center and do one more layer of the magenta 86. I am not going to force the burnishing, but if it happens, you know, the pencils that I use, I pretty much go with light layers and let them tell me when it's time to burnish. I don't like really doing a heavy hand. It's not my preferred technique. I'd say that I'm sort of a tweener middle pressure person. Yeah, these are taking their own sweet time. I think by the second layer, and I am going over a little bit more, you know, each, I even think the first time around was not just one layer. I went round and round a little bit, encouraging the layers to burnish themselves. You can hear it's a little noisier since I'm adding the pressure. And if you can't hear it, I can hear it. It's not quite scratchy, but it's definitely not as quiet as I would prefer. All right, I am going to feather this out a little bit, get rid of any harsh lines, but I don't think there's many. Maybe come down a little bit. Moving on to Scarlet Red. Sorry, I hit the camera. How am I doing for time? Oh, 42. I'm coloring a little slower than I was yesterday. I am going to not stop until I get this to the same point I had gotten to yesterday, and then I'll go away and do the final outer edge. Okay, I am now switching from the Scarlet Red to Grenadine 080. And again, this is actually a little bit lighter. I think it's more in line with the Azalea Pink. But we'll see how it ends up looking in the very end. Okay, now lightest pink is Azalea Pink 82. All right, where are we at now? 47. Okay, so this is the color that I was started doing the final burnishing layer, starting in the middle. So I'm going to do that. And when I'm about halfway through with that, I will call it done for the day, and then I will finish my own, the rest of it on my own time. I am doing medium to hard pressure, trying to get rid of the tooth of the paper. I can tell I'm not so concerned about getting any streaks or harsh lines. I don't feel like I have to be careful. I don't feel I have to like stay away from the green. You know, I feel like this pink isn't going to alter any of the green if I accidentally get it onto the green or the blue for that matter. So it wasn't until I got to the outer edges of the heart that I felt that this azalea pink was going to be a little darker than I wanted it on the outer edges. But again, I have the pink bloom color or the light flesh, but I don't think I want to go any more peachy. I want to keep it as on the pink side as I can, which means commingling the soft touch and the gold, which I am okay with doing. So that's looking really good. All right, I am going to call this. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you will join me tomorrow. The nice thing about this is it's all pre-recorded, so you can join me whenever you have time. And whenever you're wanting to do this page, you can just come back right here. If you like what I did, at any time in the future that it strikes your fancy to do so. So do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And we will do this all again tomorrow. I will share with you that we are going to work on these two pink hearts, or two hearts. I'm not sure what color they will be. And I hope to be able to have all my pencils picked for both sets. One will be drawing. Let's just say that I am upside down, by the way. So there's kind of a sneak peek at the two Castle Arts sets. One of these small hearts will be Derwent Drawing. There's only 24 colors, and they are a earth tone palette. And then we have the Kalura 120s, which are the Black Barrel 120s. the white label ones. And so that will be a fun one to color. And we will see you then.